I lied about having cancer in elementary school, then ended up actually having it later on. I used to lie for fun as a child, partly because of a lack of attention from my parents, but mainly because I just enjoyed it. It started with little ones such as my favorite color, having certain pets as siblings, etc. Then one day it escalated to me lying about having certain illnesses and disorders. I didn't have any bad intentions. It was just a hobby to me and fun to see how far I could go with people's trust. However, what I didn't expect was for the few kids I told about having cancer too, to then tell their parents, and then the staff. They wanted to start a fundraiser for me. They wanted to start hanging up posters in the hallways with my school picture on it, and a short paragraph saying I was suffering from ovarian cancer. All within 1 week. I was absolutely mortified. This went on for a few more days, until my mom was phoned by another parent friend, expressing their sympathy for her child's illness. I remember that day vividly. I was in the kitchen, and she was in the basement. I heard her pick up the phone, then shortly yell my name. I walked over to the steps, and she asked if I told people I had cancer, and I panicked. My mind at that point was so trained at making up lies, I immediately told her that there was another girl with the same name that had cancer in my grade, and that we must have gotten confused. I heard her explain this to the mother on the phone, and sighed of relief when she said that poor girl in reference to this other girl with my name that had cancer. The next day, I went into school and was confronted by the guidance counselor who asked to speak with me. Long story short, the other girl's mom was notified by a close friend, and it all came circling back to me. She explained the boy who cried wolf and how lying can really hurt people. I came up with stupid excuses as a child does. But what I would never expect is being diagnosed with ovarian cancer in college. Seems like too much of a coincidence to me. I believe it's karma, so does my mom. Shortly after that, I was also diagnosed with a brain tumor, which seems like a cherry on top of the already deserved parfait of payback. Anyways, I've since mended my ways and am in remission. I still talk to the other girl every once in a while. We created a weird sort of friendship after everything died down.
I was a janitor and lived rent-free in the janitor's closet. I worked as a janitor in a school. There was a dedicated janitor's closet which was quite spacious. After I had finished vacuuming all the classes in the afternoon, I had to turn the security system on and leave within a minute. There was a caveat though. The front gate and the dedicated janitor closet were exempted from the motion cameras. I couldn't justify or afford spending half of my paycheck a week for what should be a human rights shelter. So I did what I had to do and simply lived in that closet. I saved over $20,000 in rent. I installed a mini fridge and an air fryer and had quite the time. The contract got changed, so I lost that gig. I feel a bit bad for freeloading off the school, but the government can provide insulated sheds to all of its citizens for a few billions, but would rather spend much more on war and overinflated salaries for its oligarchs. I wouldn't do it again. Best commute ever though.
I altered a credit card statement for a customer because she sounded cute. One time had to spend some time on the phones in a customer service role for a credit card company. Customer was upset because she was supposed to get 90 days same as cash on her Sony TV purchase, but she was late on that deal by 3 days. I thought she sounded cute, and it didn't impact my company if Sony lost some interest revenue, so I offloaded her statement data and altered the payment date to make it look like the payment satisfied the conditions of her purchase and sent her a copy of the altered statement.
I controlled my neighbour's TV for 6 months from my phone and made him sell the TV. Now I regret it. Last year I had an asshole neighbour who always would be playing loud music, be rude to everyone, and not pick up his dog's shit when they would go for walks right outside the building. The dog had a barking problem too, but I'm not hating on the dog. One evening I had problems with the internet, and for shits and giggles I tried to connect to my neighbour's Wi-Fi with a password 0123456789. Guess what? It connected. The same evening at 11 p.m. I started hearing shitty drum and bass from my neighbor's apartment as usual, and all of a sudden I see a pop-up appear on my phone. I have a Samsung phone, and when you open the YouTube app on any Samsung Smart TV, a pop-up appears on your phone with the TV-casted YouTube app. As long as both devices are on the same Wi-Fi network, you have full control of TV YouTube on your phone. Pause, play, volume, skip video, fits a playlist, choose a different recommended video, etc. At first I did not realize what the pop-up was, and just thought, WTF is this? I thought my phone was glitching. There were options: pause, forward, volume, etc. I pressed pause, and all of a sudden, there was silence in my neighbor's apartment. After a few seconds, the music started again, and I saw that the play button turned to a pause button again on my phone. I pressed pause again, music disappeared, and behind the wall, I hear what the fuck. I cannot describe the feelings I had in that moment. My facial expression must have looked like that Chris Pratt meme from Parks and Rec. Moose Snop. The music started playing again, and again I pressed pause. Now I'm hearing grunts and profanities from my neighbor. I could feel his confusion and anger through the walls. I had never felt so much power in my life. God, universe, or whatever you want to call it, had blessed me with a gift. I kept fucking with him that evening. Pause, skip video, turn the volume up and down. He tried turning TV on and off, logging in and out of his YouTube account, and nothing seemed to work. He was so pissed off. Oh, it was the first time I was happy that the walls in our building are so thin. This went on for days. Turned out he mostly used YouTube on his TV to watch videos, podcasts, even to play music. He was going completely insane. He did switch to Spotify, I'm guessing, for music, but still, every time he wanted to watch a podcast or some videos, I was there, ready and waiting for him to feel my wrath. Throughout the next few months, I heard him call customer support multiple times, making him reset the TV to factory settings, logging in and out of YouTube app countless of times. Sometimes I would stop messing with it for a couple of days to give him false hope. Then all of a sudden, when I hear him watching some comedy podcast that he is enjoying, I would start playing another video for him. He would literally scream. Long story short, after 6 months of this, as I'm walking down the hallway one day, I saw a random couple carrying the TV out of his apartment and him holding cash in his hand. I drove him to selling the TV and buying a new one. In that moment I felt bad and started to regret my actions. Felt kind of childish about the fact that I had been doing this for 6 months.